Made possible through support from ARC Thrift Stores, CCDC, Colorado Cross Disability Coalition, Developmental Pathways, PASCO, Personal Assistance Services of Colorado, and the Arc of Aurora. A Think Change training.
Hi there, Hani Reilly with the Arc of Aurora and Think Change, here to introduce our next installment of Vodcast podcast, focused around children's transitions, what to expect, what should you know, tips and tricks on how to navigate successfully. You know, we all made it successful transitions from childhood to adulthood. But here's the thing, kiddos with disabilities often experience these transitions in ways that maybe aren't expected and might not be positive. And so as advocates, we want to provide you the information and education that you need to be able to help your family and your child transition successfully throughout their school years. Our advocate team, Callie, Jeff, and Petrie, will walk you through each transition through early education to secondary, and then secondary and beyond. What do transition services look like for your child? What to expect when planning for adult life for your child? And you know what? You're going to start that discussion really early in your kiddo's life. Right around middle school is when you start talking about what does adult life look like for children. And I know that that's going to be crazy because they're going to be teenagers and it won't seem reasonable or like it's necessary to start having that conversation. But we know that the sooner you start discussing and the sooner you start planning for adult life, the better off you're going to be. They're going to walk you through all of the different steps, as early education and early intervention services. Those happen before your kiddo's 3 years old. But once they're 3 to 5, they're going to be looking at child find through your local school district. Oftentimes, primary school settings like elementary school are a place for your child to understand the norms of a school setting, getting to know ways in which you progress through your school environment and the school expectations, all the way through the stark transition from elementary to secondary, where all of a sudden you have lockers, you're moving from one classroom to the next, you have social pressures that are the same as kiddos who are not receiving IEP and special education supports. So starting to prepare yourself and brace yourself for those natural transitions just makes sense. We recommend keeping your child engaged in that process, in the IEP process, as much as possible. Just makes sense. It starts to build in self-advocacy skills that they're going to need when they're adults. You'll feel, compelled to talk about state standards and state norms that all help track the progress of your child as they move through their school settings. You might also feel compelled to consider retention if you don't think your kiddo is really, meeting the standards of that grade level. And our advocates will talk with you about all of that. So as you listen to the upcoming episodes, keep in mind ways in which you can continue to move your child through schooling as gracefully as possible while continuing to keep your lines of communication open. What's going to work for you as a parent in early intervention might need to be tweaked as your child ages and grows, and as the school teams and people that you contact and interface with change as well. So we know that you've got this. We are always happy to help as well. So reach out to us if you need some additional support. But thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you find this series valuable, and we are excited to bring you this information. Take care.
Think Change. Talks, trainings, and tools to help in your work for or with people with intellectual and other developmental disabilities. Learn more at www.thinkchange.training.